Our next guest is beloved by millions across the world for his portrayal of the fiercely loyal Hodor in Game of Thrones.
Now fans of the show in Ireland will be able to meet their hero, Kristian Nairn, at this year's MegaCon. And Kristian joins us now to tell us all about it. How are you? Welcome to the 6 o'clock show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we got to ask you, Kristian, because for people who don't know, MegaCon is a big deal. Tell us, what will you be doing at it?
Oh, well, I'll be meeting fans, we'll be talking, signing autographs, we'll take photographs. And it's just about connecting with the people who have put you where you are, you know, and it's just a way to give back a little bit. And I love to do conventions. I love to meet people. It's where you hear the truth as well about your work.
Yes.
You know, you get exactly the truth.
He's like the good and the bad sometimes. We were just saying that during the break, fans at these events are super passionate. It's such a loyal fan base for all these shows.
Yeah.
So passionate, some have actually gotten tattoos, Kristian. How are you with all of this?
I mean, the tattoo thing is more common than you would think.
Okay.
I've definitely... The popular thing is to write. You'll sign your autograph on someone's arm, and then they'll run to the nearest tattooist and they'll tattoo over. I can only draw Garfield freehand. So I've drawn a lot of Garfield on people. So these random Garfield tattoos all over America.
Wow.
And that's my fault.
How many tattoos do you have?
I have to count. That's probably about 14. I'm not going to count live on air, but yeah, I've got about 14.
Do you know what? I have to say, I really relate with these fans, because obviously we were talking about the Real Housewives franchise. We love BravoCon.
DragCon.
You're going to think this is weird, but I'm a massive Beyonce fan. I go every quarter.
Why
There's
do
a
you think that's weird?
Because every quarter, me and my friends go to a Beyonce Beehive party. So that's why I understand. Yeah. So I got to ask, as a kid, is there anything you would have gone to a convention for?
Wow. I was very into, like, it's a long time ago in the 80s, probably the He-Man universe. I was into He-Man and She-Ra.
He-Man, She-Ra.
Yeah, I would have went to
Master of the Universe.
Or Xena, or something.
Wonder
Woman convention. Yeah, something like that.
That would have been cool.
I would have been first in the line.
Yeah.
Your character, Hodor, is loved by absolutely everyone. Is it true it was your mom that got you to audition in the first place?
Yes. I didn't know anything about the part. All I knew was he only said one word. And that's not really that appealing for an actor, you know. I didn't know anything about the show.
Give me more words.
Yeah, for goodness sake, give me some words. But Mum had read the books, and she took me through the storyline, and she told me, it's going to be a good character. Take this part. Just take the part, Kristian. Take it. So I took her advice, and everything changed.
Well, do you think it was a bit more challenging because it is such an emotional role? Like, you're not saying much, but you're expressing a lot.
Yeah, luckily, though, it kind of grew with the seasons. My abilities, I hope, kind of grew with the seasons. Like, at the start, when I look back at season 2 and 3, it's kind of cringy for me a little bit.
Oh, never cringy.
I was going to say,
never
for
cringy.
me. I mean, my part, not
so
everyone else's part.
Why would you say now? Why would you use the word...
Do you enjoy watching yourself?
I can't even hear my own voice.
No, I'm the same. I know lots of people who are the same. I thought it was just me, but it's definitely not.
Yeah. Well, now, with a show like Game of Thrones, obviously, you never know when your character is going to be written off. And obviously, they're always written off in the most dramatic and sometimes horrendous ways. Tell us, where were you when you found out of Hodor's exit?
We almost had this, like, lottery system every year of who would survive. We would, like, do the flick through the script and see if you're going to make it. And I just remember I was sat in my living room and I got a phone call from Finn Jones, who played the Knight of Flowers. He got the script the day before me. And he just said, Kristian, have you read the script? And I just went, I know what that means. I know what that means. And he just said, you're going to love it. You're going to love your death, which is a weird thing to say. But I read it. I was happy. I got the phone call. There was a phone call of doom you get from David and Dan, who were the showrunners.
Okay.
And it's like a bell tolling when that phone call happens. And it came 2 days later.
And we have to ask you, did you enjoy your death?
Yeah, I get a solid 9 out of 10,
It's memorable.
Fans were devastated when your character left the show. Why do you think Hodor was loved by so many people that watched the show? What was it about the character you played that had such a lasting impact on people?
Well, if you watch the show, you'll see in Westeros there aren't very many nice people, and there's a lot of agendas, a lot of cruelty, and a lot of crazy stuff happening. And Hodor was kind of a little bit of comic relief sometimes. He was a nice guy. Yeah, I mean, you maybe could see yourself in his position. You could maybe imagine what you would do in his position. I think people could maybe relate to him in that horrible scenario of Westeros. So I think that's why people related to him slightly. I hope.
Well, speaking of Westeros, what did you make of the ending? So many mixed opinions on that.
That's the question we still get asked every day.
Yeah, I know. We've got to ask you while we have you here.
Yeah, I liked it. I did. I know it's controversial, but I did enjoy the ending. I just wish it was a little longer. I just wish there was more.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we have to say, you know, Game of Thrones did so much positive for Northern Ireland tourism.
Yeah.
Did that fill you with extra pride, you know, being from Northern Ireland, you know, being part of Game of Thrones? What was that like?
Well, it's just nice to go to other parts of the world. And the first thing you say when you come from Belfast, people say now, oh, that's where Game of Thrones is from. It's not like, oh, that's where all the bombs.
Yes.
People don't say that anymore. They say about Game of Thrones first.
Yeah.
And that makes me very proud, especially to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Maybe just moving us on slightly into the future.
Yeah.
We've got all those amazing studios and everything. Ireland as a whole is just it's just such a great venue for filming.
Yeah, because you see, you've a lot of Americans that come over for the tours. Have you ever done like a surprise appearance at any of the tours?
I have actually.
Oh, have you?
I have. Yeah, there's in Port Ballantrae, I hid inside a boathouse for a gang of Americans. I think it was arranged by a website, and I was hiding inside a shed.
That must have been a big check. You were a tall man.
I am. It was more of an arena.
Yeah.
How did they react?
Oh, they lost it. They lost it. But I love to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Away from Game of Thrones, you worked with director Taika Waititi on Our Flag Means Death. A lot of improv with this. How did you find that? Scary, or you enjoyed it?
Well, I hadn't done any really before. I hadn't really done much improv. Game of Thrones is very much script.
Yeah.
Stick to the script. But Taika is completely the opposite. It's like the script is thrown out the window, set on fire and danced upon. And I really had to learn very fast. But I loved being a part of that show. It was such a huge family. We filmed it in New Zealand in season 2. And it just was such a wonderful experience. Taika's amazing.
With improv, is it more liberating or is it more daunting as an actor?
I should say liberating, but I'm going to say daunting, actually.
Yeah, I imagine it is.
Yeah, because you're sitting there, you're waiting for your time, and you don't want to interrupt another actor. You know, you're trying to read the room. You don't want to get in the way of someone else's improv.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to sort of judge the room. But
I say when you come away from it, you probably feel like it must sharpen your acting skills in a way, because you're switching it up. It's like a challenge.
There is definitely a button to be pressed, but I've always been able to talk about nothing for a long time, so I've always had that talent.
I think that's called being Irish as well. Now, we also have to ask you about your other passion, which is music and DJing. And you were doing this long before acting as well. And you tour all over with that as well.
Yeah, I've been everywhere. I've done it for 30 years now. I've been a DJ. Everywhere. I've literally been everywhere. I've been on beaches in Africa. I've been in Siberia. I've been all over the place. But I love it. It's such a great way to see the world.
Yeah.
And please tell me you were asked to DJ at the Game of Thrones wrap party.
I was not, actually.
The shade,
that's a missed opportunity there.
It was. You never know. It might happen for House of the Dragon. Who knows?
Who knows? Did you have jam sessions anyway in the trailers?
With Isaac, yes, we definitely did. Isaac and I would have had like music offs.
Yeah. Oh, music offs. I like it. I like it. Listen, Kristian, thank you so much for joining us. Round of applause for Kristian Nairn.